Okay, so our work today is healing. Whoops, wrong screen. Here we go. Let's hope that I am not having teeth covered in lipstick. So healing, an important tool in your coaching toolbox. That's the title for today's event, y'all. Copy and then paste. Share to your group, League of Badass Butterflies. Okay, go live. And got it, this meeting is being live streamed. And I'm sure that's Rebecca, who is in, there she is. Do I have any lipstick? Nope. Do I have any lipstick on my tip? No. There was a moment ago, I turned on this Zoom and I was appalled by the amount of lipstick these lips just so happened to have managed to put on my teeth. Okay, look, I'm just getting my live stream set up. Just another moment, y'all, and we'll be ready to go. I'm gonna make sure that I have everyone on Facebook and I'm not hearing feedback. Okay, hi everyone, it's Crystalline here. And I am very excited. I am excited to be with you today as normal. Always excited to join my League of Badass Butterflies. This group has been open now for about a year. It's been over a year. Rebecca, when did we open? When did we start this group? I've been going live every single week, like almost without stop. I think I took a break because I was tired for maybe 2 or 3 weeks in the last year, but we have been live. I've been live 52 times. This is what I've just realized. I've been live at least 52 times. And that is really cool. When you're doing it, you don't realize it. But when you look back on it, it feels very exciting. So I'm just kind of celebrating that right now. Like this is it's not our 52nd year, but I'm celebrating this as our 52nd live stream. And I know Rebecca has been here with me every step of the way. So Rebecca and I got us some history, girl. And some of you maybe have been following along all this time. Congratulations and thank you. And if you're new, hey, welcome and thank you. Anyway, so my name is Crystal Lynn Bell. Sorry, Crystal Lynn Bell, not Crystal Lynn Bell. What's the difference? Because one time I said, I'm Crystal Lynn Bell. And the guy on the other end of the call was like, all right, Ms. Lindell, or Ms. Lindell. I think he was putting it together and he put together, all right, Ms. Lindell. And I'm like, okay, don't do that. So my name is Crystal Lynn Bell. And I prefer to be called Crystal Lynn. People have been asking me that, and I'm going to be asserting that a little bit more. I like to be called Crystal Lynn. It's nice to meet you. I am Badass Butterfly, and we're going to be talking about a few different things today, okay? So first of all, this is our weekly live stream for my League of Badass Butterflies, and we meet here every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And really, like when I first started this group, what I wanted to do was teach you all how to be life coaches. And then I started to realize, well, that's what my program is for. And the reason my program is put together the way that it is because if you really want to be a life coach, you have to do all the things, not some of the things. Now, of course, you can do things your way and go about it and just dance around and kind of like really feel your way through this process. I love that. I did that for years, and I feel very appreciative of what I've learned. But for me, and for what I'm doing in this group, and for what I do as a mentor and a coach, it's very important that I do what's right for me, right? Because this is my group, and I have a feeling, a philosophy, and a program, like a way of presenting things to you that I believe are helpful, and I do believe they are the right way. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm right and you're wrong. That's not what being right means. There can be many different right ways, but I know what I'm doing is right because, number one, I see the success for just myself, but I also see so much success in all of my students. And I have so many wonderful students that I work with every day. And even just before I got on this live stream, I was with one of my students, and she said, Crystal, the way you work is amazing. Your program is amazing. And she said, I'm a Capricorn. Well, she says, I'm a Capricorn rising, and attention to detail is really important. And she says, you've put so much loving detail into your work. I can feel it. I get goose pimples every time you talk to me and I do my work. It just feels so good. So that is a wonderful testimonial from her. And it's, of course, a pleasure to work with her intimately in my program. And I love working with you all through live stream and through this group. It's a real blessing for me to be able to bring materials to you all. But I do want to invite you to come closer, to come closer to me, okay? But also to come closer to your passion for your purpose. So I'm assuming you have a passion, a drive, a real calling to be a coach, to help people heal, to help people transform, to be of service. If you're like me and like I was, before I became a coach and I decided that this was something that I wanted to make real, I would get up in the morning and the very first thing I would do would be to grab my electronic notebook, like my phone or my iPad or my laptop. Actually, at that time, I had a laptop. And I would open up that laptop to my electronic notebook. I would sit up in bed and I would start writing about how I was going to help people. I would write about the problems that like my clients had. So I was a massage therapist before I was a coach, and I had this wellness studio, and it was fantastic to work in it. And I would get up every morning and I would think about the clients that I had seen the day before, the couple days before, just things that would happen. And I'm like, well, if I were a coach, this is what I would tell them about that. Because, when people come in to get massages, a lot of people come in and they just want to get their massage and they want to relax. But before and after the sessions, we would have these kind of really meaningful, heartfelt conversations about what was going on in their lives and what they needed. And I would get these downloads about what they can do and where the problems were. And I would sometimes tell them maybe you should check in with this person. And they would give me feedback and say things like, oh, I checked in with that person and that thing you said was spot on, So I had all sorts of affirmation that said that I had a real gift for giving people good giving people good advice, let's just say, guiding people, being able to see a person. I mean, I already had the gift. I knew that I had the gift of touch, and I knew that I had the gift of healing because I could literally look at a person and go right toward the pain in the body. And I could work with that pain in the body and completely transmute it. Like, that was my gift. That was why, that was why I did over 1,000 massages every single year while I was working as a massage therapist. So I at that time, I had a lot of confidence in my work, and I still do, obviously, but it was very strong. So when I decided that I wanted to be a spiritual life coach, there was no doubt in my mind that I would be a great coach. I knew that I would help people. So I would get up in the morning, and it was a joy to pull out my laptop, open up my notebook, and just start writing out systems. Like, if I had these clients, this is the system. If the person came to me with this problem, I would tell them to do this, this, and this. And then if a person came to me with this issue, I would tell them to do this, this, and this. So, me being bossy, okay, that's how I kind of ran myself. And I am hoping that you too are very bossy like me. I want you to be bossy because if you believe that you have a calling from your soul to be a spiritual life coach, then that is the boss inside you. Don't worry about your ego. My ego is bossy. Okay, look, my ego is very bossy, but my ego is my ego. But the real bossy me is my soul, my spirit, the one who knows God is real, and the one who loves unconditionally, and the part of me that's connected to the Christ consciousness and does not want to let go of Christ consciousness, right? You have that too. You have that. I'm calling mine bossy. You might call yours like a diva, or you might call yours a goddess, okay? Whatever you call it, it's real. And it's that part of you that knows how to coach people, that knows how to love people, how to support people, right? Your egoic self, your human self, needs some support to help bridge between the pain that your client is serving and that part of you that knows how to heal them, right? So you need a bridge between that gap, and your ego your ego is that bridge. And the reason I say that is because that your ego is that human part of you that is dealing with limiting beliefs, doubt, being a human, like the things that make us human: fear, anxiety, worry, needing to go take care of the kids, needing to go, cook your lunch, okay? The part that has to be human is the part that needs to be bridged between the spiritual bossy self who knows all the answers and the client, okay? So what I do in my business as your coach and your mentor, okay, I teach your egoic self how to how to be the bridge between your higher self, your bossy self, and your client. And what I do is, first of all, we calm that ego down, and we teach you how to actually embody that higher self so that you can be a great coach, a great healer, and show up very, very well for your clients. Now, the other thing that you need, and I know that for all of you, the coaching and the healing is actually the easy part. And I'm saying that with quotes, with air quotes, okay? Because you might have some fear around your abilities to heal and coach, but I guarantee you, if you have love in your heart, you will figure out how to coach people. And I know you have love in your heart. Now, here's what I also know from experience from myself, but also with experience from other people. Just because you have love in your heart and you have a really badass boss inside your head, okay? If you don't know how to run your business, it doesn't matter how magnificent you are of a coach if you don't know how to generate clients and you don't know how to create a consistent system that allows you to reach your clients. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, I just need a few clients. Surely I can just get a few clients. But for anyone who has actually tried to do that for more than, 3 months, you realize that actually bringing in clients who are willing to invest in you, because it is an investment in you, your system, and themselves, okay? So getting clients who are willing to invest in you, your system, and themselves is not as easy as one might think. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not hard, but you have to know how to do it. There is a system that you have to have in place. And my sweet friends, that system requires building. And it doesn't require a lot, okay? I promise you, it is nothing that you cannot do. But you need to give yourself a solid year of learning and building and knowing what to do. Guessing, watching other coaches and trying to figure out, like trying to reverse engineer what they've done, trying to guess at what they've done won't work for you. It doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work, you can get some things, but to find that consistency that we top coaches have, that requires actually knowing what the fuck we're doing. Because as much as I am a really authentic person, like super authentic, super honest, what you're seeing right now, you cannot emulate. You could get on you could take every single word and every single gesture and every single emotion, and you could repeat it, and you will not own it, because you cannot own it until you own it. You cannot own it until you possess it. And you cannot possess what I have and all the other top coaches have until you do it, until you become it. And you become it by living it and doing all the work. My program has 250 lessons in it. 250 lessons, okay? Until you've done that, no matter how much you repeat the exact words and emulate, you're not going to be able to embody it because you haven't done what I have done, okay? So what I want you to understand on this journey, you're new here, and that is a good, exciting, wonderful, juicy place to be. It's juicy. It's juicy because you're like a teenager. You're like a 16-year-old hormonal teenager whose estrogen is on fleek. Goddess is all up in you, and you're all in your creativity, okay? And you're fearless. All right, that's what I'm hoping anyways. I'm hoping you're fearless. I'm hoping you're fearless because this is new for you and it's exciting, It's like the fool in tarot standing on the edge of the cliff and her arms are thrown back and she's like, I'm just going for it, all right? And that's what we want. That's where you are, and that's what's exciting, okay? So what I want you to do is to seriously consider taking all that wonderful energy and investing all your hope, all your intensity, all your joy, all your faith. I want you to invest that in yourself. And I want you to make a decision for yourself that is I want you to make a decision for yourself that is incredibly magnificent. Because the fact of the matter is that you are magnificent. I want you to make a choice. I want you to make a choice. Look, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. And I know I sound so freaking vain, but maybe I am. But maybe I'm also just real and honest. Let's face it, I have a great program. I do. I have a great system of working. It's been validated and validated. I have wonderful women that have gone through my system and they love it. Okay. I want you to consider seriously making an empowered decision to invest in yourself and to consider working with me. Now, if this sounds interesting to you, then I want you to book yourself in for a strategy call. Rebecca, will you please put the link to my booking calendar for them to book the new strategy call that we've set up for them. And I want to talk to you about what you feel in your heart about yourself and your coaching vision. And I want you to feel free to share the truth of your vision because, look, I already know my power and I already have my plan. I have my big divine coaching business plan that I am working through. I'm building an empire, okay? And you too have a vision and a plan inside you. Your plan may not be as big as mine, and it doesn't have to. But if you give your small plan a chance, right? Your beginning plan, because you're a teenager, you give that your first level plan. If you give that your all and you build your empire on a solid foundation, then you will step into a bigger vision and a bigger vision and a bigger vision. And you will step into more and more and more and more power. And I think that's really exciting. I'm excited for you. And I'm excited at the opportunity to work with you. So if you're interested, go ahead and use the booking link that Rebecca has put here. And let's talk. Let's have a heartfelt conversation about what's important to you, what your dreams are. And let's see if we can work together. So let me check in and see who's here with me this morning. Tammy is here. Hey, Tammy, nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Good afternoon. Jojo. Oh, hey, Jojo. It's good to see you. Hey, Aileen. Good to see you. Good morning. All right. So today, ladies, we are talking about what's in your spiritual life coach toolbox. Now, this is something that we started this last week, okay? And there are basically 3 important things that you need in your coaching toolbox. And last week, I started talking to you about shadow work. And I told you why it was important, and I gave you a bunch of shadow work exercises that you could use in your own toolbox and things that you could just start thinking about as a life coach. What are what is shadow work and how to use it? We did that last week. Today, we're going to talk about healing because for me, shadow work is like the first thing I like to start with all of my clients. I start with shadow work because it's a way for the client to use their conscious mind and to reach their subconscious mind. So as you know, most of the important healing must be done on a subconscious or unconscious level. And so what we want to do is make sure that we are able to access the subconscious and the unconscious self. And if the client is blocked on the conscious level and they're unwilling to release their logic, their rationale, that masculine, they're attached to the masculine. They have a toxic relationship with the masculine that exists within themselves. It's very, very difficult to access the subconscious mind when you have somebody who's thinking all the time. They won't relax. They won't allow the feminine to dance within them. Well, shadow work is a really great way to get people to relax the mind without them knowing, and to relax the mind, get it focused on something over here. But then what we do is we dive down into the subconscious without them realizing that we've dove into the subconscious. Okay, so shadow work is excellent for that, and that's why I talked about that first, because it's my favorite tool. It's the way to disarm everybody. Nobody gets past shadow work. I don't care. Once we've done that shadow work, you can then go into the rich healing part, which is what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so this is our second class in the series of the tools you need in your toolbox as a certified spiritual life coach. Now, before I get started, I would love for you all to please comment. If you're here, I need to know that you're here. So just in the comments, type #live, or if you're watching the replay, type #replay, okay? That's going to be really important and helpful for me. It's also really helpful if you give the video a thumbs up or put some kind of a reaction on it. Giving a reaction as a, heart, caring, even an angry emoji if something irritates you. All of that stuff is really, really helpful for what we're doing here. All right. Now, I also have a little request that I want to run by you. I'll do that in a few minutes. I'm going to do that in a few minutes, but we have we don't have a worksheet. We don't have a worksheet for you today. We have a sweet little infographic. So if you want the infographic, you can type in infographic, or type in infographic and Rebecca will send that over to you. Okay. And it's basically highlighting the 3 modalities that I'm going to talk to you today, the 3 healing modalities that I think are really important. And it'll give you a little description of those. And it's to act as a reminder for you of some things that you can look up and explore for your own coaching business, for your divine coaching business. Okay. All right. So if you want the infographic, just type in infographic. And if you're wondering what in the hell is an infographic, type in worksheet. If you don't know what an infographic is, just put in worksheet. It's the same thing. Same concept, basically. All right. So let's get to talking about the Spiritual Life Coach's Toolbox. So there are 3 tools that I mentioned: shadow work and healing. And next week, we're going to talk about light work. All right. So as we're starting here, in the comments, will you please type in what you think healing is? What is healing? And if you're really bold, what's the difference between healing and coaching? All right. What's the difference between healing and coaching? I can't wait to see what you all type in. Eileen gets it. Yep. Infographic, por favor. No problem. And it's good to see you, Jew. I'm glad you made it. Thank you. And thanks for typing in #live, y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So while you all are contemplating the difference between healing and coaching, I'm going to I want to put it like this. I want to frame it in this way. So, healing is an extremely powerful way for a practitioner to impart an energetic change to another person or to their client, okay? So healing is an energetic exchange that helps the client feel better and to have an energetic change that improves their feeling, their body, and even their life. Now, as you'll recall, there's this thing called humanity, and there's this thing called ego, and there are these things called limiting beliefs, and there are these things called negative emotions and fear, anxiety, and all this stuff that's really, really challenging, okay? All the healing in the world is not going to take away those experiences, but a good coach can help a person change their mindset, which can lead to the minimizing and even the disappearance of those negative experiences from a person's life. So if I have a belief that I am unworthy, and it is a core belief, you can woo-woo the fuck out of me. You can Reiki me from sun up till sundown, and you can sprinkle me with fairy dust. And if I have a core belief that says I'm unworthy, I'll feel great. I'll go forward. I can have a superficial belief that says, yes, I'm healed. And I can still go out, and the subconscious, unconscious belief that says I am unworthy is still going to have a major impact on my life, okay? So healing is not the solution it's not the sole solution for creating meaningful change in the lives of your clients. Now, coaching, on the other hand, and I'm going to check in. Let me see who's here. I know my Aileen is here, and Aileen is really bright. And Jew is here. Jew, I'm waiting on you to chime in. Okay. I love corresponding with you all. So, Aileen says, coaching asks questions, healing answers any disalignment. My thoughts. Yeah, I think that's a really good way of saying it. Well, coaching asks questions is probably not enough, okay? But I love what you're saying about healing, answering any disalignment. Completely think that's spot on. Like, healing is wonderful for bringing your energy back into alignment, but coaching can help you keep the energy and change your mindset, your behaviors, and your attitudes. And the right coach can help you go down into the subconscious self and work with the subconscious self to repair those subconscious beliefs, like those core beliefs that are holding you back, right? So, in my humble opinion, you really want healing. As a coach, you want to be able to coach people and ask questions like Aileen is saying, okay? But it's really the coach who says, okay, today we're going to work on this belief. Today what I'm going to have you do is we're going to just do energetic healing. You've been working on these beliefs, you're integrating new beliefs, you're changing, you're creating new habits that are affirming these beliefs, okay? So what we're going to do now, we're going to spend today during this session, we're going to just work on healing. So we're going to start off by doing some pranayama. We're going to do some breath work. Then what we're going to do is move into a deep meditation. And then I'm going to do some Reiki. I'm going to, I'm going to do some sound healing, right? Whatever you feel like you need to do. The important thing to understand is that you are powerful as a coach because you're not limited to just using the healing tools. You don't have to use just the sound bowls or essential oils or crystals or just meditation. With coaching, you meet with your clients, you set up objectives, you take them to those objectives. So you're looking at their whole life. You're taking a very holistic approach to their transformation. You're looking at their emotional needs. You're working with their inner child. You're working with their energetic alignment, as Aileen said. Okay, so there is so much wonderful power when you make the decision to become a certified spiritual life coach. So I want to talk to you all today about 3 healing techniques that I think are so helpful. And I want to encourage you, you don't have to take these on, but at least think about them and maybe research them and see if you want to learn more about them. And maybe you'll want to incorporate them into your work, okay, as a coach. So the first one that I love is called the completion process. The completion process. And this process was created by Teal Swan. And she's been in the news negatively very recently because there was some kind of a documentary that was made, and it exposed her kind of as a cult leader, and it didn't paint her in a great light. And I didn't see the documentary. I've just seen parts of it, and parts of it were really hard. But it doesn't change the fact. And I think what I would just kind of say it, because I'm making a recommendation for this person's work. That's why I'm kind of justifying myself. And actually, I'm not really justifying. I'm just explaining the whole picture and why I just kind of like Teal for who she is. Teal knows a lot. She's really fucking smart, y'all. Really smart. And a lot of her wisdom is received from her core. And she's also well-read. So a lot of her wisdom also comes from outside, from reading and watching videos and being exposed to a lot of really powerful spiritual stuff, okay? So this particular process, called the completion process, is one that was actually started by another guru, but Teal heard about it and she created her own version of it, okay? Her own version that probably even might be step by step. I've never seen it step by step, but I know that the theory around it and the story around, like, the way she teaches it is 100% her own, right? So the way she teaches it is 100% her own. And I think it's really, really helpful. The person who she heard about it from, and I do believe she's acknowledged that she heard about it from this particular person, has never taken the time to write about it, or to formalize it in any way. So there's no written documentation of it. And he just spoke about it and she just took it and ran with it, right? So I appreciate that she did it because he wasn't doing anything with it, and our girl, who's the woman who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, she wrote this book called something about magic. Anyway, in this book, that she wrote, she talks about genius. And genius, she says, will start with you. But if you don't use genius, genius will move on to somebody else who's willing to do something with it. And I kind of really respect that, which is why when I get ideas, I honor those ideas and I take them to the highest degree that I can. Okay. And in this particular case, Teal, genius was with the guru. He didn't use it. And genius is like, I got to get used, and moved on to Teal. And Teal was like, I love you. I'm going to write a whole book about you. I'm going to certify people around you. I'm going to build a whole system around you. I'm going to get you published in Hay House. And that's what she did. So for this particular process, it's called the completion process, and it helps you work with your inner child. So the book, if you want to learn how to do the completion process, what you would need to do is either go get certified with Teal, or you could buy the book and teach the process to yourself. All right. And I recommend that you first get the book, read it. It's awesome. Like, I'm not a big fan of Teal's reading, but this book, like the structure she has and, the insights she gives are like really, really profound. So I totally recommend that you all get this book and integrate the process for yourself. And then as you integrate it for yourself, it'll be natural when you're working with your clients to start bringing a lot of what you learned from your own work into what you're teaching your clients. Okay. So that is my first healing technique that I want to recommend for you all to use, the completion process. And in that process, you're working with your inner child. You are revisiting a part of your childhood where you are stuck, okay? And when you get stuck in a place in your childhood, you don't grow beyond that part, okay? So let's say that you were 6 years old and there was a cute boy and you went over to try to give him a kiss on the cheek and you brought him a flower and he was like, Pa, I don't like flowers. I don't like girls. I'm a boy. I like trucks. Okay. So he's on a totally different vibe. He's not feeling your romantic 6-year-old heart. Okay. Now, depending on how you take that, you could be like, oh, that's traumatic for me. That was a really bad way. He was just into his trucks. He's into trucks. Like, trucks are more important than me. Trucks. Oh, God, I hate men with trucks. You grow up and next thing you know, every time you see a guy in a truck, you're like, oh, I can't stand guys in trucks. Give me a guy with a sports car. You're on Match.com and you're like, oh, he's got a picture of himself with a truck. Ah, no. That's called being stuck at 6 and not maturing past the age of 6 as far as boys and trucks are concerned. Okay. With Teal's completion process, what you would do is go back to that 6-year-old self and you'd go through the whole process, but ultimately what you would do is validate that child and then help her have a different experience of the boy and his truck so that she could move forward and be freed up from feeling, she's created a belief that she's less significant than a truck, right? And that's going to be playing out in her life. So we want to release that from her so that she can move forward and see the boy in love and light and just understand that he's just a boy, he's a baby. And he just likes his trucks now. But let me tell you, when testosterone kicks in, he's going to be like, fuck this truck. Where's the check? All right, so that is the joy of the completion process. Have you all heard of the completion process? Give me some feedback, y'all. Have you all Have you all heard of it? I don't know if how popular that is or how popular teal is right now. All right, and let's see. Yes, coaching asks the client questions to process and realign mind, body, and soul. Very good, Aileen. Jew, I didn't realize that you're in Portugal. Hey, that's so cool. I didn't realize you were so close to me, darling. Jew says healing is the process of embracing whatever it is we have within us that needs to be upgraded, understood, loved, and released so our past negative experiences can no longer limit us and sabotage our light and our potential. Love that. That sounds really nice. I like that description, Jew. Healing and coaching. A coach assists the client in the healing process. Yes, guiding the client through their past hurts, limitations into the understanding and refinement of the inner world. Yeah, I think that's really, really beautiful. Gorgeous. Yes, ma'am. Beautiful description. And I trust her process. Humans just suck at that vibration. Okay, I'm not sure what that's connected to. All right. Thank you all, though, for participating in the conversation. I really appreciate it. And thanks for the feedback. I love your input. Let me get into the second healing tool that I think is really important. And this is one that everybody knows about in the healing community, I'm sure. If you don't feel bad, you're going to know about it now, okay? And that is Reiki, okay? So Reiki is a Japanese process, and well, it originated in Japan. And it is the process of aligning yourself. So you get certified as a Reiki practitioner, and the process aligns you with this Reiki energy. It opens up these channels in your body, helps to clear your chakras, and it allows you as a healer to be able to go to people and touch them and to tune into this divine light energy and to channel it through a person. And Reiki is a truly healing process in that the practitioner doesn't make decisions about where Reiki goes or what Reiki should do. It is a process where the client is passive and just allowing, it's receiving, okay, very feminine. And the practitioner is activated, but not active, meaning it's not directional energy like, oh, I'm going to put Reiki here, I'm channeling Reiki. Really, Reiki has its own intelligence, and it meets the energetic system and just moves to do whatever the divine in the person needs it to do. So it's not controlled by the practitioner and it's not controlled by the client. It's the channeling of this powerful energy. And Reiki is wonderful. It's extremely relaxing. And it can really help a person go deep into their unconscious self. Very often when people are receiving Reiki while they're on the table, they are going into deep communion with themselves, with their spirit guides. They can see their future, they can see their past, they can have clear vision. Reiki works with the chakras and or the meridians of the body. So those channels are cleared and purified and cleared and purified, okay, and maybe energized even, so that the person has more clarity in their lives. So when they're done on the table, they can get up and they can feel like they've slept for 8 hours, and that they are well rested and their mind is clear and they feel amazing, right? And as a coach, I like, when I was a massage therapist and I did Reiki, I would do a session on a person and they would leave and they would feel amazing, and they would feel amazing for 2 or 3 days, right? And at about the third or fourth day, certainly a week after, they were kind of back to their normal way of behaving in the world. And this is why coaching is great, because we coaches will meet with our clients consistently, like every week, and we prevent the client from, the client leaves us and they're way up here, and over the course of the days, they go down, 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 right? And what we want is for them, instead of to just keep going down because life is just taking them down, what we want is for them to leave us today. And then they can start their decline, but then they meet us again next week. So then they're like, oh, I'm back up again. Oh, yes, I'm up. I'm feeling great. And then they can go down again, for a couple of days, but then they're back up. So the benefit of being a coach is that we build tremendous momentum with our clients because we are seeing them consistently, and we're constantly working on what they're thinking and making sure that they remember what they learned last week when we were in session. So if we did a Reiki session last week, they remember, oh yeah, that's right, I'm loved. Oh yes, I healed that. I don't need to have these same reactions, and giving them tools to use the things that were uncovered during the healing sessions is what a coach is for. All right. So hopefully this is interesting for you to be able to integrate this into your healing work. All right. Into your spiritual coaching practice. All right. If you all have any questions, let me know. Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Aileen. That makes sense now. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the feedback on that and the correction. All right. Let me talk to you about my last healing technique. And this one is this is a different one. Okay, this is one that is this is a different one. Hey, Rebecca, can I get the link to the infographic, please? By the way, can you pop that here for me in Zoom? Did you put it in there already? You might have already done that, darling. Sorry. Let's see. No, I don't think you've put it in there. Go ahead and put that in there for me, please. So hold on one second, y'all. I think I want the infographic open while I'm talking about this. Let's see, maybe it's easier if I just go in here and get it. I think, Rebecca, did you put a link for me for the infographic in the comments? I can't see it anywhere. Okay, I'll just use this image that you put for me. Okay, here we go. All right. Thank you. Yeah, okay. So do you all remember A Course in Miracles? Have you all read A Course in Miracles? So this is a book that was transcribed, I think in 1960 something, okay? And basically in this book, now it doesn't say anywhere in the book, hi, my name is Jesus and I am writing this. Not ever does it say that, okay? But it does make references to being the Son of God, and it makes reference to having unconditional love for us, and it makes reference to the Christ consciousness. And basically in this book, what the book is saying is that your healing is promised because you're perfect and you don't need healing. So I probably should not have said that because that's confusing. What it means is the truth of who you are is always the truth of who you are. You know how at the beginning of this call today, I said, you've got a bossy, you got a higher self who's bossy, like you've got a bossy boss inside of you, and then you've got your ego. A Course in Miracles is saying, actually, you don't even have an ego. Like there is nothing that is real outside the light of who you are. That's basically what A Course in Miracles teaches us, that there's only light and everything else is truly an illusion. And what A Course in Miracles wants to do is help you to see life through the eyes of God, which is seeing light as light. And it says that once you start doing that, then you are fully healed. And it also says that keep in mind, you can't be healed because there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wounded. There's nothing broken. You are simply light and you don't need healing. Sure, there's the illusion, but that's an illusion. And why in the fuck would you ever want to talk about that? I love A Course in Miracles. It's awesome because it's quite serious. It's like, that's an illusion. Why are you focusing on the illusion? You're like, yeah, but, I ate a whole chocolate cake. And A Course in Miracles is going, that's an illusion. The cake is an illusion. Eating the cake is an illusion. It's all an illusion. And the reason this is really important as a healing modality is because as a coach, your clients are coming to you in their drama. They don't know any better. They're the clients. They're the students. You're the one who's the leader. So they come to you and they're like, my husband is cheating on me. And while you are not to say to them, your husband is an illusion and him having sex with his secretary is an illusion. No, don't do that. But what you have to understand is how to embody that Christ consciousness and talk to that person both as a human, but also as the God light that they are. So for me, I like tools like shadow work to help me deal with the human. And I like things like A Course in Miracles to help me deal with the truth, okay, the light that is within. And there is a healing thing that is spoken about in A Course in Miracles. And they don't say it's a healing thing. I say it's a healing thing. And it's what I use in my coaching practice. And there's not a process for this. It's an embodiment. And when you embody the Christ consciousness and you look at your clients through the eyes of God, you are essentially healing them because you're breaking past the barriers of their human egoic self. So one of the things that we love about Jesus is that he was a miracle worker, right? And this book is A Course in Miracles. And basically Jesus was like, yeah, you think you're a leper. I totally understand that. But the fact is, I can't see the leprosy. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm Christ. I don't see the leprosy. I only see the love and light of God, which is why he was able to cure, like, to cure leprosy, right? He was able to raise the dead because he's like, you ain't dead. Fucking the light of God is who you are. You're indestructible, man. Get the fuck up, right? And that is true healing, okay? And I think it's important for us life coaches to take that on. I'm not saying that you need to be as perfect as Christ, but I'm saying that ignoring the way that Christ healed is, like the most powerful healer in the whole Christian thing, okay? To ignore that and to not even try to incorporate that would be kind of doing yourself a disservice. And I think that understanding how to do that, how do you do it? In A Course in Miracles, they have a word that's really key to understanding this, and it's called atonement. Atonement. And this is why I wanted to open up this thing right here. Hold on. Let me get this. I wanted to open up the little thing. Don't mean to call it a little thing, the infographic, because I just want you to see this word. Let's see. I hope I'm opening the right one. I can't really see it. Yeah, it looks like it's the right one. And I have the word written down here on the bottom. Here it is, atonement. Whoops. Healing the whole life through atonement. And it's about seeing your client through the eyes of unconditional love or God or Christ consciousness, however you want to call it. When you do this, you're healing your client fully, emotionally, mentally, energetically, and even at the cellular level. And I'll tell you that when you are able to capture this energy, this moment of atonement, in that moment, your client is 100% healed. And one of my students looked at atonement. I hadn't seen it. She looked at the word atonement and she says, Crystal, do you realize that says at one ment? At one ment. And I'm like, oh, that was it. It was the answer, man. Being at one is the act of no separation. There is no ego. There is no you. There is no me. There is no illusion. We are at one. And that's what it means to atone. When you atone for your sins, it's not like, oh, I'm so sorry. I've sinned. I'm so sorry. No, it's more about there is no sin. I'm just going to sit here and fully embody the light of God without any separation. That sin and guilt, shame, those are not accessing me because I'm just going to embody and be and hold onto the light of God. For me, that is an extremely powerful, healing experience. And it's one that I use that makes a lot of difference when I'm working with my clients. I don't talk to them about this, but I think it's operating always. It's always operating in me. And I can see it a lot with my students in my certification program. There's a laser focus that I have on their magnificence. Like when I'm working with my students, I am intolerant of ego. I don't care about anybody's fucking ego because they're not paying me to care about their ego. They're paying me to care about their light. And so I think I love working with my certification students more because I don't have to, I have to talk to their egos like they're my equal, right? And as a coach, I have to talk to my clients like they are a few steps behind me because they don't get this. They don't understand this. That's why they're coming to me. So they're a few steps behind me. So I have to be a leader that kind of like helps to shape and teach them. But in my certification program, when students step into that, the whole container that I've created bursts through their ego and gets right into their soul, which is why they're able to create so highly, so intensely, even though they've never done it before. People who come into my program who have never done any kind of coaching, they've never built a program, are building incredibly deep, mind-blowing programs. And they're writing incredibly moving articles, and they've never been writers before, right? So it's very powerful work. This whole idea of atonement is self-healing, but it's also extremely healing for the world around you. Okay, I'm gonna just check in because that's it for me for today, you all. Let me see if there's any feedback here. Aileen, tell me a little bit about why ACIM is a struggle for you. Beautiful words. Yes, yes. I love that so much. What an energy is that, embodying Christ consciousness. I know, Jew. It is such a powerful, wonderful, beautiful feeling. And what a wonderful practice. You know, it's extremely, extremely healing. Aileen, look, I'm going to go ahead and let you go but I'll come back. Type in your answer, and I'm just going to let everyone take off. And I just want to remind you all, if you want to, if you're ready to step into your work, you know, into becoming a spiritual life coach, and you want to consider working with me, then please book yourself in for a call. Rebecca, will you post that link again, please? Oh, you said, it reads like the Bible. I understand why you would have an issue with that. So yeah, I totally get that, girl. But I also know that you know the Christ consciousness and you embody that anyway. So you're not necessarily somebody who even needs a Course in Miracles. Like, you have a relationship with that already, you know? So I get that. Makes sense to me. So everyone, I want to thank you all again. Rebecca's going to post the link to book a strategy call again, so that it's there a couple of times for you. Yeah, and I look forward to seeing you all next Tuesday for this. Oh, and we have Elevate Your Lifestyle, which starts in 2 weeks. We're going to get the sign-up sheet ready for that, or we have the sign-up page ready for that, but we'll start signing people up like starting tomorrow. Okay, we'll post the link, and we'll start getting you the workbooks and everything you need for that. Okay, more to come. All right, y'all. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching.